Hello, hello, hello. I am going to talk about some business lessons that I've learned for the 19 years that I've been in business. And I'm actually going to make sure I leave this video saved on my channel so that you can view it at another time if you didn't get to catch it on live. I'm actually going to try to start going live more often on YouTube. So I will be posting what the topics will be about, okay? So that you can, you know, click that thing where you say you're waiting, all right? So I'm gonna be checking out my notes so that I can try to stay focused, okay? And as people join, I will take a moment to say hello and give you a shout, all right? Now, if you haven't seen me before, my name is Coach Tasha. On my channel, I primarily talk about taxes and entrepreneurship, small business, and all the things, success, and all of those things in those categories. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, today I'm going to talk about a few business lessons that I have learned along my 19 years of business. Hopefully, this will help you on your journey so that you can take what you learn and apply it to what you're doing. All right. Now, the first lesson that I want to talk about is, let's see, I'm going to jump around. I have my notes here, but the first lesson I'm going to talk about is, the power of delegation. Okay. Well, the importance of delegation, right? Honestly, when I first started my business, I didn't really understand how important it was to delegate some of the tasks to other people. I was trying to wear all the hats, and I didn't realize that I was doing more of hurting my business than helping my business, right? Because I didn't understand the importance of delegating. For example, when I was first building my website, there were so many tools to build websites and things like that. And in the beginning, I was like building my own website, before I eventually saw the importance of hiring someone else to build the website. Back in the day, before things were how they are now, it was like a whole lot involved in trying to get a website built. And a lot of times it really costed a lot of money. So, I was trying to like save, cut down on costs, cut down on expenses. But it was also taking time away from me to be working on other more important areas of my business, right? So that's the key thing with delegating. You should always delegate the things that you can just have someone else do, especially if it's not your area of expertise. Leave it for the experts. Okay. So I want to mention that. And also, even like when it came to like administrative support, again, I was just trying to do all the things, and I didn't realize how important it was to get an assistant to handle some of my administrative tasks, including communicating with some of my clients and so forth. So yes, definitely hire like, some sort of admin support. Another, another thing with delegating, okay, even when it came to like social media, right? Now, I actually do, even till this day, I still like doing my own posts and things like that because I have a certain aesthetic that I want my social media to look like. But at the same time, you can still teach someone else how to put together what you like done. And even if you do put your own social media together, you can still delegate someone else to take care of posting it for you. Now, nowadays, they do have more things that are helpful where you can schedule your posts and things like that. So sometimes if you are still doing your own social media, maybe you want to schedule a few hours a week or one day a week to just pre-schedule your posts, all right, on whichever platforms, because they all have that now. So it's really important to delegate that as well. And even support with my workflow, like the type of work that I do. I I was too busy trying to like hold on to all the money instead of realizing that it was much more important to hire help. Now, I do still oversee everything in terms of my assistants who help me with the, you know, everything else that how I service my clients. I do still oversee all of that. But at the same time, it still speeds up the process because they're able to work on it. And I mainly just need to go in and just, clean up a few things if necessary. Okay. So that's the first business lesson that I want to mention is the importance of delegation. Okay. That's super important. Now, the next topic that I want to talk about when it comes to business lessons that I've learned in these 19 years, and I only have a few that I'm going to go over tonight, okay? Or at the time you're watching this video. All right, now, understanding the importance of marketing, online and offline, okay? I didn't really understand how important it was to market my business. And in the early days, I've been in business 19 years now. So in the early days, I just like relied on it, especially because prior to, many years ago, I was primarily a tax business office. Now I also do consulting and coaching and things like that, as well as bookkeeping, my team and I. But what I'm saying is that I used to struggle for what was I going to do for the rest of the year because tax season was primarily the, first 4 months of the year. And I struggled with cash flow throughout the rest of the year because I couldn't quite figure out I didn't know about marketing myself. And I had my repeat returning clients every year. I would get referrals and things like that. But had I have known the power of marketing sooner rather than later, I would have attracted a lot more clients. Okay. So the importance of marketing on and offline, because even when we've all gotten so caught up with social media that I think sometimes we forget the importance of in-person, communication. And sometimes you need to put yourself in close proximity to where your audience is so that you can, use those opportunities to share about what it is that you do, or if you're a product-based business, what it is that you sell. Maybe you have samples with you that you can give away. But the point is that you want to be marketing on and offline. Okay, that's super important. Now, as far as social media, you don't have to be on every platform, but it's definitely good to at least be on, focus at least on, I'd say like 2 platforms. Make sure you at least have one down pat. But if you want to add a second one, I'm actually pretty much on mostly all the platforms. I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. You see, I'm on YouTube. Okay, what else is there? Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm even on Pinterest. Okay, so I'm a lot of places, but I want to say I added more social media the more I became comfortable with the other ones that I was doing, and now I've learned how to diversify my content and things like that. But the main thing is if you can at least pick, I'd say at least 2, focusing on those and be consistent. That's the key thing here. Be consistent. Consistent is key. And this is how you'll keep your audience attracted. And also, I pour into everyone now. Everybody needs a YouTube. Okay, hello, hi. Everybody needs a YouTube. All right. I honestly don't care what you sell or what you do. Everyone should have a YouTube channel because YouTube can really help you attract attract more of your audience. I cannot tell you, since I've been on YouTube now since 2019. Okay. And honestly, I want to say that I've acquired so many additional clients through YouTube, it's just really amazing. And pardon me for a second, because I'm gonna see if I can. I have some. Let's see. Okay, yeah. All right. I had to. Let's see what I can do here. All right. Okay, I'm gonna see. Just pardon me for a minute. Okay, I have to figure out how to remove some people because I have some spam in here. Let's see. Just bear with me, bear with me. Okay, hopefully that works. But I have to learn how to remove these spam people when I'm going live. Okay, so yeah, I appreciate for that interruption if you're watching this at a later time. But needless to say, yes, you need to be on YouTube. Okay, you need to figure out what type of content your audience is searching for. You know, people come to YouTube for all kinds of problem solving. You'd be surprised. They usually come to YouTube either to be educated, get a problem solved, become entertained, keep updated on stuff. You just have to find out what it is your audience wants to know about, and that's what your videos need to be about. Okay, but get on YouTube. Do not underestimate the power of YouTube. Another business lesson that I want to mention is the power of saying no. I cannot tell you how important that is, the power of saying no. I mean, even when it comes to, well, if you're in a service-based business, even when it comes to accepting new clients, for a long time, I didn't really have a certain criteria. I guess because I was still learning my audience, and I was just saying yes to everyone. And sometimes I found that the clients didn't we didn't meet where we needed to be, so I couldn't price where I needed to price and things like that, or either they couldn't afford my prices or I'm lowering my prices and the work was valued at way much more. There was so much of a disconnect there, but I needed to learn how to say no. But now what I do mainly is, instead of saying no, I have like an interview sheet that clients need to fill out. And even if they're booking me for a consultation, there's a questionnaire that they have to fill out so that I can know what we're going to talk about and make sure I'll be able to serve them. Okay. But also, the power of saying no is, even when it comes to, your time, you have control of your own time, right? And you get to do or not do whatever. So, the power of saying no, sometimes you have to say no, even like to social events or certain things, if you know you need to stay focused on your work or your projects, or if you have something scheduled that you need to do. Okay. You need to learn the power of saying no. And that's something that took me a long time to learn, because I would feel guilty about, not being able to show up in certain situations. But, I had to prioritize. So the power of saying no is very important, okay? Also, the power of adaptability, okay? Being flexible. Honestly, long before COVID was a thing, I actually had already became a location independent business because I was acquiring clients all over the United States. So I had no choice but to adapt and become flexible and find ways for clients to work with me from wherever they were located. Back then we were doing fax, and of course there was email, and cloud space has been in existence for a minute. You share files and things like that. But what I'm saying is that you have to become flexible You have to be adaptable. That's super important. Okay, that's super important. Another business lesson, I have two more, and then I'm gonna go for the evening, okay? But I will be going on live more often, and maybe I'll get a moderator so that I can, figure this thing out. And give me a second because I think I have one more person that I gotta remove. Okay, so, all right, yes. So the next lesson is the importance of mentorship. All right. Wow. I want to say that I really waited way too long to, you know, to get that concept of mentorship. Honestly, because you don't know, sometimes you really don't know what you don't know, right? And mentorship can help you in so many ways. It can open you up to new ideas. It will help you see new perspectives, all right? You can learn a better way of doing things. Mentorship can provide you with resources. Like, there's just countless ways that having a business mentor can benefit you. Okay. And a lot of times when people hear mentorship, they think free. And, depending on if you're with like a nonprofit organization that offers that, that's fine. But nowadays, or unless you find some sort of private mentor that offers free mentorship, that's fine. But primarily nowadays, mentorships are paid. Okay, mentorships are paid. You do primarily, it just is what it is. You have to pay for mentorships to help you level up to where you're trying to go and help you level up quicker. Oh, that's my thing blowing up there, my signs. Okay, so yeah, the importance of mentorship, I cannot stress enough. That's something you really need to tap into. I learned it far too late, and I wish I had learned it much sooner. Okay. The last thing I want to mention when it comes to a business lesson is, having that thing that's going to bring your clients and customers back. Okay, like creating a customer experience, a client experience. So what has worked for me, I want to say, and I'm just again looking at my notes. First of all, my customer service. I'm the face of my own brand. Or do I have a small team? And yes, my clients have learned that, when I do have an admin in place, because it's changed over time, but they're fully aware that they will sometimes communicate with my admin. But what I'm saying is that, I've been the face of my brand and business for many, many years. And I've always made sure to watch my customer service, being pleasant, being respectful, and even to the point where sometimes you have to have a difficult conversation with the client. And, you still have to deliver maybe a stern message, but it's still all in your delivery. Okay, all of this is customer service. All right. You also want to be someone who they find value in, because that's what's going to also make them want to come back. They have to see your value. So you have to also become more valuable. Okay. Also, being a problem solver. Sometimes I joke around. I say it's like a blessing and a curse. Okay. Sorry for all my background noise. If you're hearing any background noise, I have my window open and it's quite a breeze blowing. And so a lot of things are blowing behind me. Okay, so just bear with me for a second, but because I'm almost done. So, I call it, like, I joke around and say a blessing and a curse, because, once you become a problem solver, honestly, your clients are going to come to you for so much and, to solve their problems, basically. Okay, I have a little joke. I say, as long as you can always solve a problem, you'll never go broke. All right. Also, meeting or exceeding their expectations, okay, with your deliverable, whatever that is. You definitely want to meet or exceed their expectations. That's super important. And also staying in touch and keeping in touch. Okay, whatever it is, like honestly, whatever industry you're in, let's say even if you're like in the beauty industry or whatever, you should be keeping in touch with your clients. I know a lot of, people in hair care, people who do nails and things like that, they just simply rely on their customers coming back for repeat service. But there's so many ways you can use to keep in touch, regardless of what industry you're in, even to drop a tip every now and again or to drop a newsletter. Literally, a newsletter can be something you email to your clients or customers every season. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Just some tips. Let's say if you're a mental health professional, right? You can send out a quarterly newsletter with different tips on mental health and just so many things, talking about anxiety or talking about different things or whatever, how to, meditate. Like, I'm just coming off the cuff, but what I'm saying is that there's something you can think, regardless of what industry you're in, there's something you can think to talk about at least 4 times a year. Like, literally at least 4 times a year. Okay. Even if it's twice a year, but hopefully you would want to keep in touch with your people longer than that. All right. If it's once a month or every few weeks, sometimes I feel like people inundate me with emails. I don't really like the everyday daily emails. Sometimes even every week is a bit much, but you have to find what works for you. But the main thing is you do need to keep in touch. You got to stay in touch. That was something I actually learned when I used to be in real estate. What I really like, what I've done over my journey is that in each of my lives, I call them different lives, I took certain things from those industries I was in at the time and just carried them through. I carried them through the whole time. And I bring that up to say that was what I learned when I was a real estate agent. The power of keeping in touch. A lot of times they would teach us that sometimes you have to touch the client, the customer at least 7 times before they even think about buying or selling a home with you. So that always stuck with me. And you want to stay top of mind because you never know when someone may ask them, hey, do you know of somebody who such and such? Hey, do you know of somebody who sells whatever? And now because you stay top of mind, now they refer you. Okay. So these were a few business lessons that I've learned over my 19 years in business. I have so many more. I even want to do a video or a live where I will talk about mistakes, between mistakes I've made, mistakes some of my clients have made. Just, again, to teach. There's so much to learn when you are starting, running, and growing a business. All right. Now, I will actually add, at the moment this is live, but I'm going to go back into my show notes and I will add more content to, if you want to get in touch with me, and other resources that I have for you. Check those out. So if you had joined, if you had watched this live, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please become a subscriber, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.